Hey, what's going on? Today is December 30th, 2020. So I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I wish you a Happy New Year as well. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about racism in the United States because my audience is predominantly American, but so I wanted to talk about racism in the United States. I was born and raised in the United States. So, race is kind of a big deal in the United States, and I wanted to dive into it and talk about a conversation that I had with somebody close to me recently, which was where I explained the dynamic of race that happens between whites and blacks, the relationship of whites and blacks in the United States. And I explained it like this. The relationship between whites and blacks is basically, let's say you see a man hitting a dog, right? You're gonna say, well, that's not right. That man should be punished. You're gonna feel bad for the dog. You're gonna say, wow, poor dog. That's not right. That man should be punished. But you wouldn't feel the same way if you saw a dog biting a man. Because you basically just say, well, it's an animal. It doesn't know any better. It's an animal. It's just going off of its instincts, right? And I said to this person, that's basically the dynamic in the United States, the relationship between whites and blacks in the United States. And it seemed to click with this person, and he was like, he said, that's exactly how it is. And I said, yeah, that is how it is, in, the relationship between whites and blacks in the United States. Plain and simple. It's the same reason why when you hear, for example, I've seen blacks complain that when a white person does something, like, let's say you hear in the news that a white person shot up a school or something like that, or killed somebody or something of the sort, right? People will say, oh, the person was mentally ill, right? Something wasn't right there, something wasn't right. And blacks would complain about that because when a black person does it, they feel that the sentiment from people is that, oh well, that's how black people are. That's how black people are. That's their behavior. And there's some truth to that, right? There's some truth to that. I think the conflicts come when you're told that, we're all equal. We're all equal. When you're told this, then obviously you're gonna feel upset. You're gonna be angry of why, this, difference in treatment. That's the problem. That's the problem there. When you're told that they're supposed to be equal, the truth is that they're not. These two groups are not the same. And so this is what I was explaining to this person. And it's not just an American thing. It's everywhere you go, right? No, the Chinese aren't the same as Europeans. Asians aren't the same as Europeans. Africans aren't the same as Europeans. But we're lied to. We're told that we're all supposed to see each other as the same. But there's absolutely no reason why we should see it that way. Now, obviously, an environmental issue plays a part. It plays a part. But there is a genetic difference. There's a very clear and obvious biological difference. And we need to be able to acknowledge it. We need to be able to acknowledge it and say, this plays a strong part in these differences between all these people. That's the way we can actually come to a solution for all these problems, right? And this is just what I think about racism. You know, we clash all these people together and tell them that they're equal, and then they broadcast they produce they manufacture these problems, these issues, these conflicts, and say, oh, it's because of racism. And when you think about it like this, you realize racism is a made-up concept. It's a made-up concept to make something of a natural phenomenon that takes place between two groups. And the conversation isn't even allowed to be had. It's not even allowed to be had. So this is what I think about race. You know, it's also the issue here in the country that I live in Dominican Republic, the issue between Haitians and Dominicans. It is a racial issue. There is a very strong racial difference. Of course, they bring the people in, these people mass produce amongst themselves, and the Dominicans here, they don't produce as much, they don't reproduce as much. Haitians, they mass reproduce amongst themselves. Dominicans, they don't reproduce as much, and not just that, but Dominicans are like mass fleeing this country, right? This causes damage to the Dominican identity, the Dominican people, the Dominican population, and it has been for a long time. All right? So I just want people to think about that, to probably think about that for a bit, and let me know what you think in the comment section. All right? Take it easy.